This is the very first video of me documenting my Spanish learning journey. For past few weeks, I'm quite enjoying learning the language, and I thought that maybe it's a good idea to document the learning journey. Usually, when people start learning a new language, they want to learn the swear words in the language. Now, I don't get the logic behind it. I mean, I don't know. You land on a Spanish speaking country and then you start shouting swear words and you try to pick a fight. I don't get the idea. What I want to do first thing is eat because I live to eat. And that is the very first word that I learned in Spanish, which is I eat. That's simple, which is como. So, como is the first word that we are looking at and it means I eat. Now, verbs in Spanish, these action words like sleeping, talking, speaking, and all of these come in three different flavors in Spanish. The first one is, and it has to do with the endings of the verbs. The first one ends in AR, the second one ends in ER, the third one ends in IR. Let's take example of each of these. So, AR verb is hablar, which means to speak. So hablar means to speak. This is the first kind ending in AR. We have to pay special attention to the pronunciation here because H is not pronounced in Spanish at all. Like, unless it is like CH, ch is pronounced, but not H. H is not pronounced. And which I think is a good thing because hablar doesn't sound as good as hablar. Now, second kind of verb ending in ER is comer. Let's take the example comer, which means to eat. And the third one is ending in IR, vivir, which means to live. Here also we have to pay close attention to pronunciation because it's not vivir, it's bibir, like soft B sound. So bibir. Now you might say, earlier I said to eat is como and now it's comer. I mean, you are the worst Spanish teacher ever. To which I agree because I barely know any Spanish. But the point here is this: comer is the two form of the verb, which is to eat, which purists might call as infinitive. But I call it two form, easier to say that way. So comer is to eat, and from comer we derive all of these different forms. I know, these different forms are motivation enough to give up on learning Spanish altogether. But then you might pick up French and you will have to say croissant. So pick your fight, pick your battle. Well, I chose Spanish because I think learning these different forms is much easier than saying croissant properly. Sure, these different forms will come at you like Agent Smith, but you have no choice but to become Neo, knocking them out one at a time, or maybe a bunch at a time. Here we go. I think this is our first lesson. I think we covered enough ground for our first lesson. We got the different types of verbs, AR, ER, IR, and this is the infinitive form. And okay, one more thing. Like, let's complete it. I forgot. Like we did comer and then comer becomes como. Let's do it for the verb that we already covered. Hablar becomes hablo, I speak. Vivir, to live, becomes vivo, I live. We have covered few things. Infinitive form of different verbs: hablar, comer, vivir, ar, ir, er. And then we derive the I present form. I eat, I speak, I live, hablo, vivo, como. And then some pronunciation nuances. Like, they're not nuances, they are very fundamental to pronunciation. We don't pronounce H and we pronounce V as soft B. Hablar and vivir. I think we are good for the first lesson here. Hopefully, I'm motivated enough to make second video in the series. Goodbye for now. Bye bye.